my Aryan sister lives in a house that's a lot bigger than this one, and she doesn't have any kids, so it's just two people in the house. And her last house was probably bigger than this too. And she doesn't have a college education, but I guess her husband, he doesn't have a college education either, but he's so good at computers. He's a CISSP, so he's good enough at hacking that I'm guessing he pays for the whole thing. But they live in a more expensive city than this one too, here in Colorado, because they moved here from San Antonio. I'm wondering if the reason she has such a nice house is because she became a cop. And I mean, I'm just saying, like, I think it's super weird when you're coming to me and telling me that you're Aryan, and no one's ever told me that. And like, if there's anything I know about the Aryan Brotherhood, is they're very well known for like being like a white supremacist gang. And I feel like the FBI always wants to say, these drug dealers are white supremacists. The black people are tend to, like, what's funny is we have all these gangs, you know, and the black people are like black supremacists, you know, they're like black pride people. And then the white people are white pride people. And then the Mexican people are brown pride people. And then, but everyone's a racist, obviously, and they always want to classify you as a person that chops people's heads off. And so it's like, well, why would you want to classify yourself as someone that chops people's heads off? Which I don't think that's what the Aryan Brotherhood is known for. The Aryan Brotherhood is known for, like, they're thought of like the Ku Klux Klan, pretty much. So it's like, yeah, hey, I'm Ku Klux Klan. Just want to let you know. All right, dude. When did you become Ku Klux Klan? That's really what I'm wondering about here. So, I think what happens is if you turn into a snitch, then you get rich. And that's kind of how the feds are. Even if you couldn't even make it through your undergraduate college, and I don't know. I'm just saying, like, that's what it seems like. All right, so I thought I'd tell you that story about She's Insane, because I haven't ever told it on YouTube. I think I told it on Snapchat. I wrote that song about a girl who was cheating on her boyfriend with me, and I kind of started falling for her, probably because we had very good physical connection, or we had a very good physical connection. And one day I came home from, I think, a party or something. It was like 11 or 12 at night, and she had cuts all over her arm that were like straight lines, and she had like a bandage on her, and like the blood was seeping through it. And I was like, what happened? And she said that someone tried to rape her, and that she had to walk home from Texas Roadhouse in Waco to my apartment, which was right next to Baylor. And so it was probably about a mile, and it's kind of a mile through the hood. Like, it looks pretty ghetto there, even if it's not the really bad hood. The bad hood is where I used to live in Waco, where someone got shot in my front yard. I don't know who shot him. It was a black guy that shot a white guy. He shot him 3 times. And my ex-girlfriend was in the front yard when he got shot. And then I went out, like, I was on the phone with her, and then I went outside, and like we were talking to the police while this guy was bleeding all over the gutter. Like, his blood was all in the gutter, and it was the first time I ever saw that much blood, and I was like, that is beautiful. It's kind of weird how beautiful blood can be, because it's just the color of blood, especially when it's flowing. That's not what I'm talking about, though. So my ex-girlfriend, well, she wasn't my ex-girlfriend. She was cheating on her boyfriend. But she had lied to me and told me that she was pregnant. And I told my parents that she was pregnant, and I told her she could move in with me. So I guess I gave her a key or something. No one had a key to my place except for her. And because I didn't want her to have to live in the dorm when she was pregnant. And then it turned out it was a false positive. It's like, okay, there are no false positives. You lied to me. And so I came home, and she had these cuts all over her arm. And I remember, like everything was fine. We went to bed because everything wasn't fine. I was kind of disturbed by it, but I was tired. It was like midnight, so I went to bed. And the next morning I woke up, and I went in the bathroom, and it was just like there was blood everywhere, all over my bathroom, and like the trash can was full of like bloody tissues. And I remember thinking, I can't believe she just lied. This girl's so crazy. She lied to me about someone trying to rape her. The other song that I talked about in my last video, She Comes to Me with a Lifetime of Scars, she never hurt herself while she was with me, but she had like very clear scars on her body, kind of like my sister has scars all over her legs. and that's from self-harm. And at the time, I didn't know that she was an undercover. I didn't know that anybody would want to investigate me, but I knew, but like I thought back on it afterwards, and I was like, wow, she was really aggressive with me, and because she was really trying to get me. Again, sometimes girls, like in my experience, if a girl's really trying to get me, it's because they're trying to get into my life. They're trying to investigate me. And like I said, she told me about how no one ever arrested drug dealers in Pennsylvania, and she was really mad about that one day. And her friend that she drove to Manitou with, because they kind of showed up there and then they kind of stayed. Her friend used to be called Maggie, but now on the internet, she's not Maggie, she's Rachel, and my guess is that's because she quit the FBI. That's the only explanation I can have. Maggie was super cool. Like Maggie was like, she had a really good personality and she was fun and she was like tough. And then Willow used to complain all the time. Like she was a big complainer. And so I was never into her. Like I didn't want to date her in the first place. And the next thing you know, she's moved into my apartment. And that's why she was like, I'm smiling at the devil, because it was like, this girl is like such a bitch. I think I must be insane because I can't stop like wanting to be with her. But it's because I didn't want to be alone. Like I had no one to be with. And I don't know, I feel like sometimes, like for people like me, it's just easier to be with an FBI agent because they're getting paid to be with you. Like they definitely want to be with you. They're not going to leave you. It's their job. They want to stick around. But usually that's not a good decision because they don't actually love you. They just love the game, which is trying to find the drugs.